Over the last decade, the technical requirements for building software have shifted. You no longer need a computer science degree or a specialized engineering team just to get a functioning app into the hands of a user. Look at this matrix. In 2016, getting a product off the ground meant securing $100,000, finding a technical co-founder, and waiting 6 months. Today, you need $100 for API credits, a visual builder, and a single weekend. That search for a developer partner is often unnecessary for a prototype. Off-the-shelf AI models and drag-and-drop web interfaces now do the heavy lifting of writing logic and connecting databases. With the technical build becoming a commodity, the primary risk of launching has moved. The challenge is no longer about whether you can build the tool, but whether you've correctly identified a problem that people are desperate enough to pay to solve. You've probably seen the hype online about launching a weekend SaaS. And to be fair, stringing together a functioning prototype that can take payments in 48 hours is entirely doable. But that extreme upfront speed comes with a steep tax. Relying entirely on hyper-accessible external tools means sacrificing the long-term stability of your infrastructure. We are going to look at 5 specific micro-SaaS prototypes you can assemble right now. We'll break down their target markets, test if they'll actually make money, and pinpoint the exact moment where these no-code setups inevitably collapse. These tools are highly efficient validation vehicles, but you have to treat them exactly as that. Temporary test environments to prove people will pay, rather than a permanent foundation to build your company on. Think about local service businesses, dentists, salons, auto shops. When they miss a phone call because it's after hours or the staff is busy, they lose direct revenue. That dropped lead often goes straight to a competitor. To fix that, you can build an AI receptionist. You train an agent using VoiceFlow to answer common questions, connect it via Zapier, and have it push appointments directly into the shop's Calendly. You can charge these clients a recurring fee of $99 to $299 a month. The operational catch here is reliability. If a caller asks a complex, highly specific question about a service, an improperly constrained AI might hallucinate an incorrect price or policy, creating an instant customer service headache for the business owner. On the consumer side, look at the friction job seekers face. They spend hours trying to beat automated applicant tracking systems, only to submit robotic-sounding generic AI cover letters that get immediately rejected. This leads to the hyper-niche AI resume generator. A user uploads their LinkedIn PDF, pastes a job description, and your app outputs a tailored ATS-friendly application in seconds. You build the front end in Bubble, route the text generation through the OpenAI API, and charge a $15 monthly fee. But consumer apps like this carry a structural paradox built right into the business model. If your product works perfectly, your customer gets a job, and the exact moment they secure that job, they will cancel their subscription. You are constantly fighting churn because your success guarantees their departure. Next, we have the creator economy. YouTubers and podcasters spend days producing a single piece of long-form content, only to watch its relevance drop to zero a few days after publishing. The burnout is constant. You can solve this with a content repurposer. Users drop a video link into a Bubble interface, and you use Claude 3, which is excellent at handling massive context windows, to automatically slice that transcript into Twitter threads, LinkedIn posts, and newsletter drafts. The financial risk here is your profit margin. Processing full hour-long podcast transcripts eats up an enormous amount of API tokens, meaning heavy users can quickly cost you more in server fees than they pay you in monthly revenue. Over in the B2B service sector, agency owners and freelancers face a different drain on their resources. They spend 3 to 5 unbillable hours writing, pricing, and formatting every single client proposal. An instant proposal generator fixes this. You combine advanced data forms from Fillout with OpenAI to draft the text, then push it through pdf.co to generate a polished document complete with dynamic pricing tables. Even though this objectively saves hours of unpaid work, you'll face an uphill battle selling it. Freelancers are highly protective of their specific sales routines, and convincing them to abandon their entrenched manual templates for an automated workflow requires significant persuasion. Finally, consider high-ticket B2B sales. Account executives frequently jump into discovery calls dangerously underprepared because manually researching a prospect's company history simply takes too long. To solve this, you build an executive briefing assistant. A rep inputs a prospect's name, and the app instantly delivers a direct Slack message detailing the company's business model and highly targeted talking points. You price it per seat, capturing a high-budget market. Under the hood, this requires stringing together Browse AI for web scraping, pushing that raw data into Clay for enrichment, passing it to GPT-4o for summarization, and firing it back out through the Slack API. While it solves a critical revenue problem for sales teams, setting up the complex webhooks required to make those disparate tools talk to each other demands a level of logic that pushes the absolute boundaries of what you can call no-code. It is tempting to jump straight into the tech stack for these ideas. But building a full product before you know if anyone will pay for it is how months of work turn into wasted effort. Follow this strict validation framework. Step 1, spend 1 hour building a simple landing page. Next, actively drive 200 targeted visitors to that page using social communities. Finally, the real test. Attempt to get 5 strangers to prepay for the product. If no one opens their wallet, the rejection stings. But walking away now saves you from spending months building a tool the market has already told you it doesn't want. Now, let's say you get those sales. You build the prototype and it starts gaining traction. Quickly, as you scale past a few dozen heavy users, you hit a critical operational threshold. This chart shows a no-code stack under scale. Initially efficient, API costs soon compound uncontrollably. Compare that to custom-coded infrastructure. It costs more upfront, but stays flat. Once no-code costs cross above this low, your prototype has outlived its usefulness. Once you have proven product-market fit exists, you must reinvest early revenue into scalable architecture. If you don't, the sheer friction of a patched-together system will cause your customer base to collapse. This is the exact transition Need MVP handles. When you're ready to graduate from a fragile prototype, they build permanent, custom-coded applications in 3 weeks, giving you 100% IP ownership and built-in monetization from day one. Continuing to hack together temporary tools past the validation phase is a massive business liability. Choose one of these prototypes, run the framework, prove the demand, and when it's time to build a real company, scale securely.